11:43, welcome back. He is a state senator covering Richmond and parts of Henrico County, who also just secured a new role as chairman of the Democratic Party of Virginia. So here with us on the Midday Show this Monday, State Senator Lamont Bagby. Sir, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Henry.
Congratulations on your new role. Talk to me about why you wanted that role as chairman, and then what do you hope to bring to that role at this point in time?
Well, it's a critical role at a critical time. We have elections coming up this 2025, and we need to make sure that we keep Don Scott as the Speaker of the House, and we need to make sure that we elect Abigail Spanberger as our next governor. That's going to take a lot of work throughout the Commonwealth of Virginia, and I want to lead the way as it relates to Democrats getting to the polls and doing the work leading into November.
I'd say, doesn't being a lawmaker take enough time off your schedule, but, why did you say to yourself, I think this is a good role for me?
Well, I think everyone is trying to find how they can be helpful at this time. Depending upon where you were this time last year, we all thought that we were heading in the right direction, not only on the national level, but also on the state level. And then we find ourselves in a very challenging place where Virginia is going to be a safe ground for many other southern states. If we don't win, I think we're going to find ourselves in a challenging time with whoever win. If we don't win, we'll find ourselves in a challenging time with what's coming from Elon Musk and Donald Trump in D.C. will then flow down. There will be no safeguards here in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Talk to me about 2025. I mean, you all are standing up a number of candidates. I mean, for the state house races as well. What is that kind of ground operation looking like for you all at this point in time in terms of making sure you guys are prepared and getting out there, knocking on those doors and getting your message out there?
Well, not to give up too many trade secrets, but we are ready to compete all across the Commonwealth in red areas, blue areas, Democratic areas, and Republican areas. Kamala Harris did very well in Virginia. She won 8 other now-seated Republican seats in the House of Delegates. We're going to go after each of those 8 seats and a few more because we want to make sure that we give Don Scott, the Speaker of the House, the majority that he needs to deliver so that we can get this legislation to Abigail Spanberger's desk. Same legislation we got to Glenn Youngkin's desk, and he's vetoed most of it.
I'm assuming you've been watching some of the special elections in other states that have been happening where Democrats have been doing very well at this point in time. I mean, is that your kind of hope heading into 2025 as well, or how do you kind of take what's happening in those other states and replicate that for Democrats here in Virginia?
Well, I'm excited about the energy, and we need to be prepared and create the infrastructure at the Democratic Party of Virginia to make sure that all of our local committees and localities are prepared to take that influx of individuals that are ready to come and do the work to make sure that we get Abigail Spanberger elected governor and Don Scott elected speaker. But I'm also concerned about what we're seeing from Elon Musk and others as it relates to writing $1 million checks for folks to vote. And playing this game where we're not getting folks to $1 million to vote, we're getting them $1 million to sign petitions. I don't think we should be playing that game at all. We're going to do the groundwork, talk to people about the issues, not talk to people about giving them a check.
When it comes to winning, do you think Democrats, and whether that's, I mean, in Virginia's a little different than national Democrats at this point, do you think there's a messaging problem at the national level for Democrats?
Well, we are really going to focus on making sure that individuals know and make our messaging very clear. And Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Winston Earl Sears, and Glenn Youngkin are making it very easy for us to get our message across because they're showing exactly what happens when you let extremists have power. And it's hurting everyone from their pocketbooks. It's hurting our classroom. Who would ever thought we would be trying to defend the Department of Education and that we wouldn't have a governor or a lieutenant governor to stand up and say, that's not what we want here in Virginia. So we're fighting very hard to make sure that we get the message out that we aren't on the Trump Elon Musk train. We are focused on making sure we do the right thing, not only by teachers, school teachers, and students, but also with women's rights, and what we're seeing as it relates to attacking our public institutions, our higher ed institutions. This is all unreal, and we need to make sure we get ourselves back to where Virginians want us to be.
Taking your chairman hat off and then putting your state senator hat back on for a minute, the General Assembly is coming back for the reconvened session on Wednesday. Talk to me about expectations for Democrats at this point.
Well, the expectation is is going to be that we continue to fight for Virginians, hardworking Virginians. The governor has vetoed everything from paid family leave to legislation that I had focused on running predatory lenders out. We ran predatory lenders out when we had the majority in the House, the Senate, and Ralph Northam was governor. I had a piece of legislation that ran predatory lenders out of Virginia, but now they've come back strategically through the internet and through our phones, and so we had a piece of legislation that the governor vetoed, and it's just a piece of legislation after one after another that we're going to come back tomorrow and reject the governor's amendments and his vetoes and try to override his vetoes. But I know it's sad, but I'm confident that the Republicans will be lockstep with the governor tomorrow. Which will also make it easier for us to make sure that our messaging is clear in November.
And that's because you need a 2/3 majority with the current kind of makeup. Do you think you have that right now to override vetoes?
I don't see any Republican willing to go up against Glenn Youngkin, and it's certainly not going to go up against Donald Trump.
All right. We'll see what shakes out. Lamont Bagby, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Nice to see you,
I
sir.
suspect I'll see you Wednesday.
I will be down there too. So, all right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Time now for a check of the forecast.
Thanks, Henry. It's a